What's up, guys? It's everyone's favorite amputee here, and right now I'm about to fire the very first shots out of this rifle right here. This is a 20-inch 224 Predator, which is essentially a 22 Grendel. This will be, like I said, the first rounds that go through this gun, through this barrel. I put it together for quantified performance matches. It has a KGM R6 suppressor, 20-inch 224 Predator barrel, Aero Precision enhanced upper, Vortex Strike Eagle 3-18 scope, bunch of PSA parts. I think this is the UBR stock. I think this might be the K2 grip. Nope, that is not the K2. Magpul bipod, PSA 2-stage trigger. So it's a pretty decent setup, but I mean it's still, you know, like the budget build or whatever version of, you know, this is the 22 Grendel you get off a Wish, I guess. So for the very first shots, I wanted to go mild with this cartridge. So what I chose to do was run 75 grain Hornady boat tail hollow points over 27.5 grains of H4350 and a CCI number 400 primer with Starline new 6.5 Grendel brass. It's a very interesting looking cartridge. I'm really digging the way this looks. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I have my lab radar set up. I'm going to fire a few rounds, grab some velocity data off of this should be very mild load with these 75 grain Hornadies. And then after I fire these 5 rounds that I've made up for it and I've determined that they are safe, I'm going to load up some at a slightly higher charge and continue to break the barrel in. After I do my cleaning process for X amount of rounds, then I will start to do load development with the 80 grain ELDM, which I intend on making my match load. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get to it. Also, really hope that this thing doesn't blow up in my fucking face. I'm already missing some digits, as you guys know, and it would just really suck to lose another finger. Alright, so because this is a brand new cartridge to me, and I've never, you know, done anything with this cartridge before, I'm going to load 1 round into the magazine, fire that 1 round, see if it locks the bolt to the rear. Hopefully it doesn't grenade and fuck up my suppressor. And I will inspect the brass for pressure signs. First test, will it chamber? Doesn't look like. Try that again. Maybe it did chamber. Alright, already feeling a little nervous about that. I'm going to put this on here. This should catch my brass so that I can inspect it further. Alright, so there's a round in the chamber. The gun is ready to go. Safety is on. Alright, the lab radar is armed. There's a round in the chamber. Let's see how she do. Please don't blow up in my goddamn face. I'm way too pretty for all that nonsense. Well, that's what you don't want to hear. Round is stuck. Gonna have to mortar it. So upon inspection of the cartridge that went into the chamber, it appears that the shoulder was contacted significantly. So what I'm going to do now is, instead of running the suggested by the website type 1 bolt, which is this one right here, I'm going to run a grendel type 2 bolt. And I know what you're thinking. Hey man, ain't that dangerous? Probably. It's probably dangerous. But if you think about the difference between the type 1 and type 2, it's only like 11 thousandths difference. So if it's slamming onto the shoulder whenever I try to chamber around at 0.125, then hopefully at 0.136 it will not. You see, the website that I bought this from had advertised this as being a no neck turn, no nonsense, very simple thing, and it's already fucked up on the first round. And I know I shouldn't be upset because it's only the first round, but I am upset right now. Alright, let's put this bitch back together, but with this one. Alright, I'm gonna use the same round that I attempted to use the first time. And see if it chambers this time. Man, I had a really nice paint job on this until I jammed a fucking screwdriver in it to get that bolt back. Wish me luck. It appears to have chambered. There could have been some more bad information on the website that I bought this from. You know what? Let me just fucking fire it before I keep yapping. I'm putting this on like it's gonna work. Next, I'll put on my clown shoes. Oh, man, being fucking crippled. Okay. Lab radar is armed. Gun is hot, allegedly. And target is there. Alright, let's see if it do stuff. It fired. Oh, and the velocity is actually tracking exactly what Quick Load said that it would. It's at 2658, which I know is very slow, but like I said, I wanted to fire a really comfortable load to start off with. I don't want to speak too soon, but when I purchased this barrel, there were some discrepancies with the description of it from the website. And at one part of the website it said it used a type 1 bolt, and on another part of the website it said it used a type 2 bolt. In the description it said it used a +1. It had a +1 gas port hole. It said that it had a 0.875 gas block journal, and it ended up being a 0.75, and it was only rifle length. So there were quite a few discrepancies on the website of what I actually got. And I'm not surprised that I attempted to use a type 1 bolt and it didn't work, because no one fucking uses type 1 bolts anymore. Alright, so let's take a look at this piece of brass. It should be absolutely fine, because that was a ultralight charge. I see nothing beyond what I did to it trying to get it out the first time. The primer's still nice and round. Everything looks good. I'm actually, I'm gonna slap a set of calipers at the web of the case to make sure that it didn't expand. With this Starline brass, I actually found the case web to be smaller than 6.5 Grendel spec. Anyway, alright, well that was the very first round. Let's see if we can do it 4 more times. Alright, so the first round functioned, locked the bolt to the rear. So I'm going to go on ahead, and it was tracking velocity wise with what it should. And to put this in perspective, this is a 20-inch barrel and a 75 grain Hornady boat tail hollow point, which out of my 20-inch barrel, I'm pushing this same projectile 2850. So this is ultra low pressure. I want to say that these are they're in the 40,000 psi range, and this can go up to 52,000. It actually might be lower than 40,000 psi. But again, I wanted to make sure that the gun would function. So I'm going to fire these next 4 rounds. I'm going to track velocity. If anything crazy goes on with the velocity, then I'm going to stop firing and go ahead and check the brass then. If not, I will fire these 4 rounds and check the 4 rounds at the end. Alright, woo, these are warm. Boy howdy are these warm. Alright, so the brass is not receiving enough pressure to... Love you! My wife said I'm cute. I'm not getting enough pressure. This is what the brass is telling me right here. Out of the charges I just shot, which is, like, as I had said, is a very, very low pressure, I'm not getting enough pressure to fully expand the brass into the chamber. There's a nice little burr right there. Not, at the case neck, that's from feeding. The primers all appear, yeah, no, they don't appear, they are. They're nice and round, there's nothing wrong with them. There are no ejector swipes that I can see. The brass is pretty dirty. I mean, it's one of the side effects of shooting, you know, suppressed, is that you're going to have dirty brass. Alright, I'm going to read you off these velocities. They do track right with what Quick Load said they would. I got, my average velocity was 2640, my high was 2658, my low was 2622. My extreme spread was 35, my standard deviation was 14, and that was out of 5 shots, so not bad. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go inside, I'm going to clean the barrel, I'm going to load up 5 more rounds, but at 28 grains this time, and then come back out here. Alright guys, so I loaded up some more of them Soldier Boy Tellums with 28 grains this time of H4350, and we are going to see what kind of velocity that we get and if we run into any pressure issues, which we shouldn't. We should be a pretty long way away from pressure. It actually goes on quite nicely when I'm not stupid. Huh? God? Odin? Is that you? Power on the lab radar. Let it turn on. It was taking a nap. I'll bring a squeeze bag out next time. This time, we doing it live. Alright. They all function. Bolt lock to the rear. Now let's take a look at this brass. One of them bad boys ended up on the G-round. Alright. So my average velocity was 2705. My highest was 2742. My lowest was 2681. Extreme spread of 61. Standard deviation 22.9. That was out of 5 shots. Alright. I'm going to take her inside and clean it up again. And as far as the brass is concerned, there is no concern. All of it has nice round primers, good primer strikes, no swipes, nuff'em. Not nuff'em. Perf. Alright guys, 28.5 grains of H4350. Lab radar is armed. Suppressor is on. Barrel is clean. I am erect. Meaning standing. I'm standing on one leg right now. Alright, average velocity for that was 2742. The high was 2768. The low was 2723. Extreme spread of 45. Standard deviation 23.4. Holy crap, guys. I have an 8 MOA dick at 25 yards. Nice. And as I presumed, the primers are all still nice and round. No swipes, no nothing weird on the brass. We still got a ways to go, I believe, before we really run into any pressure signs, because I think the velocity average on that was close to 2750, and from what I've read and what people are reporting, you can get 3,000 out of this combination, so I've got a ways to go. Alright guys, we about to run this thing with 29 grains of H43, 29 grains of goddamn Tupac Shakur up in this motherfucker. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this bag in, bolt forward, yeet. I'm gonna put this brass catch-a-majig on here. Boy, motherfucking good. There we go, perfect. Too easy. Alright. Slap this recoil sensor on. Turn on the labradoodle. Turn the goddamn labra motion on. Labrasitis if you're sick. Alright. We already sent the bolt. Man, goddamn, we are ready. Readies is what we use. Alright. We don't shoot this seated. Can I shoot this seated? Nope, sure as motherfucker can't. Boy, being crippled is gay. One-legged. It's like a trick shot. Doing this on one leg, motherfucker. Alright. Ooh. Shaky. Probably had a little too much caffeine this morning. You know, I like my coffee like I like my women. Without somebody else's dick in it. Alright, so the average on that was 2807. The high was 2807. The low was 2807. The standard deviation, 0. Because it only picked up one shot. You know, I really bring this silly goose vibe to the range that the serious geese don't care for. Just like before, I have nice round primers, no cratering, no swipes, nothing crazy going on with the brass at all. To my eye, to my assisted eye, I would say naked eye, but I am wearing glasses. I am going to go in and measure the web of the case to make sure I'm not getting any expansion there. I'm going to clean my barrel again, and I'm going to take a little dive into quick load before I go up on my powder charge anymore. Even though I'm not seeing any pressure signs at all right now, I still would like to be, I would rather be safe than sorry.